Whakalofa atu, Elliot Ikilei here. Very quick discussion. Last week we called out Mr. Seymour for his previously great stances in free speech, and of course as we've scratched the surface we have found that actually it's not that great. Last night was a great example of this. Last night we had the abortion reform being passed through the next level. We also had Mr. Seymour standing up to talk about the select committee. There were some little dishonest pieces in that. For example, he was very much placing the select committee as a wonderful element of democracy when we all know that it was very farcical. We all know that they snipped and chopped the timings down to a really great degree, and they really didn't actually engage in the democratic spirit that select committees were for. He also went there and he also spoke about stories that he'd heard that weren't really in line with the over 90% of submissions that absolutely opposed this most extreme and horrific bill. Another part, of course, is the suppression of free speech zones around the 150 meters around each abortion clinic. He said that he was going to pop in a little note, a little letter, to see if he could get that amended, but when the rubber hit the road, what did Mr. Seymour do? He just voted for it. And this is one of the big examples. We called him out. We said, if you've got integrity, vote no, because free speech is utterly important, and that's why. But you didn't, did you? You basically tossed around a little piece of paper. You said, oh, well, no, but she'll be right, mate, no worries. That's not actually holding free speech to an absolute core value. It's not. We also know that in terms of the euthanasia bill, which of course administers a lethal dose to a human being upon their request, we know that Mr. Seymour, you were the person who actually called for a gagging order so that things like the media are against the law if they broadcast, if they report on, if they make an article around the euthanasia activities occurring. And so you've put in an order that is an absolute gagging order. It is an absolute suppression and a closure of free speech in that element. That's something that you put in. Whatever great polished excuse you can come up with, I'm sure you will, but it still means that you have suppressed free speech as opposed to what you like to say, which is that you stand for free speech. There's more to come. We will release a little bit more throughout the week. We thought, it's good to know who you're voting for. Please make sure you know who you're voting for. Don't get sucked in by people who like to twerk on a dance show. Make sure you know what they are, who they are, their ideology and their philosophy. It's incredibly important, especially this year. God bless you, and God bless New Zealand.